This is why you need to be cautious about who you meet online, as this story is quite complex. On April 27, 2024, two young women, Celine Ordo and Afiba Tanndo, went missing after visiting a wealthy man they met on Facebook. Celine is from Nigeria, while her friend Afiba is from Ghana. It was initially revealed that they were both in Accra before traveling to Lagos. From Lagos, they went to Owerri before heading to Port Harcourt. While in Port Harcourt, they arranged to meet Andrew Amaechi, a man they believed to be a wealthy billionaire based on his flashy social media presence.
Dr. Sandra, as you can see, I am still working. I'm in my office. The time now is 11:30 at night here in England.
Seriously. Hi.
We are here at the Halt Hotel restaurant with this lovely...
It's unclear what either of these girls did for a living, but we know that Afiba, the Ghanaian girl, was married and maintained constant communication with her husband throughout her trip. It was easy for these girls to be lured by Andrew Amaechi because he posed as a very wealthy man. His social media depicted a rich billionaire ready to lavish any girl who agreed to date him, showing he was prepared to spend on anyone who went out with him. There were, of course, videos of him with many other girls on his social media, which gave the impression that he might be a safe choice. These girls were already traveling from one city to another, heading to Port Harcourt, and then to a small city called Owerri. Owerri is located in Abia State, a region not far from Port Harcourt in the southern part of Nigeria, barely 40 minutes away. Afiba and Celine embarked on a trip to meet their billionaire Facebook friend who lived in Owerri. Little did they know that this trip might be their last. On April 27th, they went to see Andrew, agreeing to meet him at the Pan Hotel and Resort, a flashy place befitting his lifestyle. They did arrive at the hotel and met Andrew. It's unclear how the encounter initially went, but given what we know now, it seems Andrew may have been nice at first as part of his luring tactic. He might have treated them well, bought them food, and given them private rooms. However, the care didn't last long. A few hours later, the horror began with Celine making a call to her sister, Tessy, telling her that she had been kidnapped by the man they had gone to see. A WhatsApp message was also sent to a friend, pleading for them to call the police because they were in trouble. Tessy acted quickly, instantly traveling to Owerri to inform the police that her sister claimed to have been kidnapped. Thankfully, Celine had provided her sister with details of the hotel and the name of the man they had gone to see. Afiba's husband claimed that he was aware of his wife's entire trip from Accra, Ghana, to Lagos, and then to Port Harcourt. They were in constant communication, chatting throughout her journey. However, when she went to Owerri to meet Andrew, he stopped hearing from her. When Tessy informed the police in Owerri that her sister had made a distress call, they swiftly began their investigation. The police went to the Pan Hotel and Resort in Owerri, and since the girls were no longer lodged there, they began checking the CCTV footage. The footage proved helpful as it allowed them to identify Andrew and possibly see the girls arriving at and leaving the hotel. It is believed that through the CCTV footage, the police were able to trace the girls to a house in Owerri. They began searching the house, but the search was continuously stalled. Powerful individuals were reportedly making calls to the police, asking them to stop the investigation and leave Andrew alone. The first batch of police that Tessy approached was very slow and seemed to be doing very little. It appeared as if they had been threatened or bribed to halt the case. As a result, the investigation began to stall. Days passed, and after weeks, the police Tessy initially contacted were no longer as swift as they had been at the beginning.
Okay guys, so we've left the bush now because we can't still find the other body we are looking for. So we just left the bush now.
This was troubling because nobody knew where else to turn. Nobody knew what had happened to the girls. They couldn't get any calls or texts from them. At this point, they were missing and their lives were in total danger. Yet, the police were slowing down their investigation. The families of these girls began using social media to call on people to put pressure on the police to take the case seriously. The more time wasted, the less likely they were to find the girls alive. In the course of using social media to spread the story of these two girls, a popular social media activist named Mr. Gwamnishu picked up the case.
Good evening everyone, my name is Harrison Gwamnishu. I just left from the police office in Abuja, and
He is known for seeking justice for many people who are distressed, abused, or, in this case, missing. Thanks to Mr. Gwamnishu, we were able to follow the story in real time. The case was eventually reported to the police station in Zone 9, and these officers picked up the case almost immediately. Given that the first group of police officers had been slowing down, an order was given to the police to begin searching. They went to the building belonging to Andrew Amaechi and searched the house again, where they found the possessions of these young girls. It was easy for them to know which house to search because, while reviewing the CCTV footage from the hotel, Celine's sister, Tessy, recognized a vehicle she saw in the video parked at Andrew's house. She believed it was the same vehicle she saw in the CCTV footage, indicating that her sister and her friend Afiba might be in that house. Indeed, they found possessions belonging to the women in Andrew's house. They found children's clothing, Celine's wallet containing ATM cards, passports, and even her flight tickets from Ghana. The investigation revealed that Celine's brother, who was at home, found her iPad and accessed it, only to realize that withdrawals had been made from her bank account. On April 26th, 100,000 naira was withdrawn, and on April 28th, 1 million naira was withdrawn. Remember, they had gone to visit the man on April 27th, so it is assumed that the withdrawal on the 26th was to cover expenses for the trip. However, the 1 million naira withdrawn on the 28th suggests they might have been robbed or were trying to pay their way out of a dangerous situation. And we could also infer that on April 28th, they were still alive, being held somewhere in that man's house. Andrew Amaechi was arrested and detained, which initially seemed like good news. However, he remained silent and did not disclose anything about the girls' whereabouts. We hoped that his arrest and interrogation by the police would lead to finding these two girls. Weeks passed, and despite finding the girls' belongings in Andrew's house and arresting him, the police were unable to extract information on their whereabouts. It later emerged that police officers from Abuja came to Abia State to transfer Andrew to headquarters for further interrogation. As the case became increasingly challenging, the Ghanaian embassy became involved after learning that one of their citizens had been kidnapped in Nigeria. It was crucial that the investigation was thorough and the girls' whereabouts were determined. However, on May 21st, nearly a month since they went missing, rumors spread that the Facebook billionaire was shot dead by police while attempting to escape.
The man who kidnapped, the two girls, the two friends, was killed. And it is confirmed that the man is dead currently.
Other sources claimed that it was a vigilante group that shot and killed him. The death of Andrew turned the story upside down, sparking suspicions that he might not be dead and had possibly bribed his way out of police custody, remaining on the run. These doubts persisted until Mr. Gwamnishu revealed and showed the public the remains of Andrew to confirm his death. His body had been taken to the mortuary, solidifying the confirmation that he was indeed dead. With Andrew's death, the case became significantly more challenging to solve. Before his demise, he had not disclosed any information about the girl's whereabouts, leaving crucial details known only to him. And now that he's dead, his death appears suspiciously calculated. Why would such a heavy-set man be shot and killed while attempting to flee? Many questioned if higher powers orchestrated his death to silence him, fearing that if he were caught, it could lead to exposing others involved. Speculation arose that he might have been part of a syndicate involved in organ trafficking or other illicit activities where people are kidnapped for profit. As the story gained headlines, more individuals who had met him in person came forward with screenshots and messages describing their visits to him. They noted his peculiar behavior during their interactions. In another account, a girl claimed that she initially thought she had met the love of her life. However, after becoming intimate with him, Andrew's behavior turned controlling, issuing orders and threatening her when she attempted to leave his house. Despite the threats, she managed to escape Andrew's house alive. There were also allegations that Andrew coerced these girls into sexual acts and engaged in abusive behavior. However, specific claims of previous girls going missing while in Andrew's company were not substantiated. Such claims could have been crucial if someone had come forward saying, "My sister went to see him and never returned." Many of the girls who spoke out about their experiences with Andrew are alive, but Celine and Afiba's case appears different. Personally, I suspect that someone may have ordered his assassination. Initially, when police were investigating him, There were calls to halt the investigation, claiming he was an innocent businessman. It suggested that powerful individuals were advocating for him to be left alone. However, as the case gained prominence and escalated beyond the local police station to involve authorities in Abuja, it's plausible that those initially protecting him decided to eliminate him to ensure his silence. They likely feared that once in Abuja and under intense interrogation, he might reveal incriminating information that could implicate powerful figures. After Andrew's death, the investigation continued unabated. Police returned to Andrew's property and made a shocking discovery: the decomposing body of an individual wrapped in curtains that matched those in Andrew's home. However, the body could not be identified as parts, including the head, arms, and legs, had been removed. It was difficult to determine the identity of the body found. Was it Afiba, or could it have been Celine? Alternatively, was there a possibility that this was someone else who had been killed earlier? The case remains ongoing, and there may be updates in the future as Celine and Afiba have still not been found. The body discovered in Andrew's house has yet to be identified. It's unclear whether there were multiple bodies found or just one, and the identity remains unknown, whether it pertains to both girls or not. The frustration deepens with Andrew's death, as he was the key figure in the investigation. The police face a daunting challenge in moving forward without Andrew's testimony. There are reports that the investigation has been paused or halted because the only person who knew the whereabouts of the girls is now deceased. The question arises as to why Andrew was the sole person arrested if he was part of a syndicate. It seems improbable for a single individual to orchestrate the kidnapping and potential murder of two women alone. This suggests he may have had accomplices, posing a significant challenge in unraveling the full extent of the crimes. We believe Andrew did not act alone. The police should focus on finding his associates, from his errand boys to his drivers, those who worked closely with him. Such abductions and kidnappings are unlikely to be carried out by a single person. Andrew invited the girls over, but the extent of the crime suggests he likely had assistance. The disposal of the bodies, wrapped in curtains and hidden, indicates he may have had help. His mobile phone could provide crucial information, such as his last communications and who he was in contact with while he had the girls in the hotel and afterward. Investigating his phone records could uncover vital leads to accomplices or others involved in these crimes. His mobile phone could potentially reveal more individuals involved, and it's unlikely that the police will close the case with Andrew's death. Someone out there likely has crucial information that could shed light on the truth.
Had a bit of fun. We have had some good food, good conversation, and we're going down to the bar for some drinks. So we'll keep you posted. Bye.